Nothing in your life or our world is happening accidentally. And you happen to be in the world now to create something really wonderful, to manifest something really unique and different. And that is why you're here, and that's why your life in the world looks the way that it does. Because we are all energy and we change at particular times in our lives or also in our world. And we don't know how that's going to unfold, and we don't know who we're going to become. And I never could have told you that I was going to live my life where I would develop an ultimate personal development and ascension guide. And that's what I'm calling it, because that's what I thought about. Last night I thought, okay, I'm going to write an article, because I told everyone I'm changing now because I have to put all of this together because this is the most revolutionary thing ever. But that was really difficult for a lot of people to understand and accept. It was difficult for me to accept because how did that happen? Everything is consciousness. We will access that in different ways. And at certain times when we live, we develop new ways of doing that. And what happened for me is that I developed a new way of doing that that was different than anyone else, even other channelers. No one has done this, which made it challenging for me, but also made it great for you. That means that because I went through those doubts and those fears and I wrote everything, and that's why I can say this is the ultimate personal development guide. And there's certain things that we, as our human brains, will not allow us to accept. Didn't allow me to accept that this could have even happened. I didn't even know until 4 years ago that it had happened, even though I've been doing it for 36 years. I'm saying that because we always have something that's still emerging, that's still developing, that's within us that we can develop. And that's especially true now. And I'm saying this because you're going to feel things in your life and see them in the world where today will make sense for you. And it's actually not today, because I am recording this on the 28th. But when I got up this morning, in anticipation of writing this article, Wilhelm says, no, we're going to give you something else because this will be a lot more effective and it'll explain things in a much better way. Because what I'm saying to all of you is that you're here to do something great and your life would be wonderful, and you just have to find out what that is. And I was given the plan for you to be able to do that. And that's what I had to own because it didn't make sense to me either, so I do understand. But after today, you'll get it. So this is the message. Your contribution is needed now more than ever. We are using this title for several reasons. The first is to remind you of your importance in your physical life journey. The next thing was to inform you that everything you have experienced in your life so far has been worth it. The next step was to encourage more of you to take the next step on your journey. The final reason was to intervene before our messenger writes his intended article today, when he can explain that we have given you all the ultimate personal development and ascension guide during this planetary ascension. We are doing it in advance as we always have. We will also play with your dates as we have done throughout, and your guides have as well. However, today, more of you will understand. You evolve in your consciousness over linear time, yet we operate in the present moment and have provided messages accordingly. You would not have noticed, but if you go back through the months of our messages, you will see that is what we have done. It is the 28th as we have our messenger write this, but we will have him demonstrate our point by giving you the messages for the 29th. This element has been the most challenging for our messenger, as he has done something unique that none of you have seen in your current human history. But each of you is meant to bring something new, and his life path had him write a guide through us. Now this article will make more sense, and your journey will be enhanced today through the following messages. Please note that the organization of messages is already present in your life. And then you will go through each message, and you will see that it is a progression of you understanding who you are. And again, there are reflection questions. But the other thing that happened that I really want you to pay attention to is that at the end of this, there's an analysis there, but the funny thing was there was a channeling session that was held on, and it's on this session. You'll see it at the bottom, but it was held on August 29th of 2021. They wanted us to see the organization of things. They knew I'm putting this out on today, but I'm talking about the 29th. You'll see the messages on the 29th, and you will see the alignment. So the thing that I've done that we haven't seen before is I was able to access all of this information, because that's how our information evolves over time, and it caused me to heal. And anyone who would do this work and go through all of it would do the same thing. But I didn't do all of it, just as you haven't. What has happened so far, I've only put in 31 days of this work that I put into a program, and people transformed. And I said, wow, how'd that happen? You're going to do the same thing with something in your life. But I'm doing this today because I want you to see it, because this, like I said, the last day of this old, at the rate that it is, because I must charge what this is worth, which is what I want everyone to do. You will never find anything that will give you the control and direction of your life as this. I don't care who you are, what age you are, or whatever. But I needed to do this today because I needed everyone to understand this is what I am doing. This is my focus now and what I'm going to finish, because it's a transformational formula that anyone can use. And that's why it is the ultimate guide to personal development and ascension. And you couldn't get it anywhere else, but now you'll understand why. And your life will be brilliant. All right, see you soon.